girl, Tina Louise. It's February 21st, 2026, the first day of my podcast. Hey, go ahead, Tina Louise. And I got my daughter as my first guest, Tiyana Payne.
Tiyana Epps.
Can I do my motherfucking intro? Her name is, I said my daughter, Tiyana Payne. That's who I gave birth to, but my daughter is married, so give it up for Tiyana Epps.
Woo!
Woo, 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 woo. Why she pissing me off on my podcast? This is a positive podcast, so, and I got some
but it
questions
can get negative
for my
real
girl.
fast.
You damn Skippy. You the damn Skippy. Okay, back to, we got questions for my guest, Tiyana.
Yes.
Give yourself a hand
Woo,
before I give you some around your neck. But anyway, who are you? I know who you are, but they don't. Let these people know who you are, Tiyana.
Wow, that question has layers. So who am I?
Unlay yourself.
I'm God's girl, Tiyana.
Go ahead.
So first of all, I'm a God-fearing woman. I am a mother of, I have a blended family, so I have 3 biological children and 3 stepchildren. So I have 6 children in total.
Put the camera.
I know how to be on that. You the one who need coaching. Anyways, my mom gets on my nerves. So I am a product of a mother who is all over the place. She wants me on her show as her first guest, and I'm honored because my mom is crazy. She is TV gold. But anyways, I am a career woman. I'm a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. I'm a wife. I wear a whole lot of hats, but the biggest hat that I wear is being a child of the King, a child of God, and a child of my mother, she's the one who introduced me to God and introduced me to having faith and making sure that I know who I am and whose I am. So it's really important for me as far as who I am as a woman to know who I am and whose I am.
Amen. Amen.
So that's who I am.
Where are you from, Tiyana?
I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Woo woo.
How did you get into the music business? You left that out, that you are a writer.
I'm a retired
rapper.
artist, so I'm not actively pursuing music anymore. But for over 10 years, I was a rap artist. I wrote all of my own lyrics. I worked with so many different phenomenal producers around Columbus, Ohio. I worked with Krayzie Bone, who discovered me on Twitter. So I've done music, open shows for Bone Thugs and Harmony and in LA. I've got to travel to do music. But I did music for over 10 years. I actually wrote 4 different albums. My last album was dropped in 2015. And it was called First Class Only, which, again, when my mama asks, who are you, who am I? I'm somebody who lives by that kind of, that theme, first class only. No matter who you are, no matter where you go, no matter what you've been through, you have to move through life like you're first class. So even if you in coach, you still have to have the amount of class and the amount of self-respect, the amount of charisma about yourself that you know that no matter where you come from, where you're going, you're always first class. So that was the theme, and that was the name of my last album.
Well, all right. What was your journey and experience life while you was out there
doing music? Mm-hmm. So for me, a lot of people do stuff and they're motivated by different things. For me, when I did music, it was because it was something that I was passionate about. Like I grew up, my mom raised me to love hip hop and R&B, mostly R&B. So I grew up listening to like Aretha Franklin, the Temptations, the Manhattans, like listening to old school music. And I've always loved music, whether it was secular music or whether it was music in the church, because my mom was in every church choir all through the city. So I was in the choirs with her, but I just grew up loving music. And my love for music started, I was probably 4 years old when I wrote my first song that I got to sing at church. Not far from here, right over here at Corinthian, I wrote a song and got to perform the song in church. So that was kind of my introduction to doing music. Started in the church, like a lot of artists. But in growing up loving music, And also my mom has always had big dreams and ambitions. And so those were things that she passed down to me and my brother, to want to be a star, to want to be famous. And I didn't even know what that meant as a kid. I just knew I wanted to have a lot of money and be able to take care of my mom, because my mom was a single parent. And she did everything. She would give the shirt off her back for me and my brother to have a good life. So for me, I always wanted to pay that forward with my mom when I got of age and could take care of her. So that was some of the motivation behind me wanting to do music. But I really love music. So I started writing music, and by the time I was in fourth, fifth grade, I had a group of friends, and we all wanted to be like Destiny's Child. So we had a singing group called TKMT. And it was me, a girl named Tanisha Shouse, who was a good friend at the time. My best friend to this day, her name is Monique Palmer. And then Crystal Johnson, who I'm still really good friends with today. It was the four of us. It actually started off as six of us, because Sebastian was in the group, and I don't even remember who the sixth person was, but, and then it ended up just being the four of us. So we would write songs, we would write plays, we would write movies. Everybody, my house was the meeting grounds. My mom always hosted and made sure that we were at my house, but we started writing music and songs. Then by the time I reached middle school, I used to try to sing and write songs and sing. And one day I went and was trying to sing a song for my mom, and she was like, "Ooh, child, you can't sing. Your voice sounds horrible." And I'm like, "Oh, dang, well, that just killed all my Beyonce." I was like, that killed all my dreams of wanting to be Beyonce the sequel. And so I'm like, well, dang, well, if I can't sing, that was like right around the era that Foxy Brown, Little Kim, Trina, all of the rappers had started to come, the female rappers started to emerge on the scene. So I'm like, well, if I can't sing, that doesn't mean I got to stop writing music. So from there, I started to write lyrics and started to rap. Like, well, anybody can rap. You don't have to have a beautiful voice. You don't have to sound like Mariah Carey or Beyonce to rap. So I started to write lyrics and rap, but I never really told anybody in middle school about me writing music, so I waited until 8th grade. We had an 8th grade talent show, and I'm like, ooh, this is going to be my coming out moment. I'm going to be able to let people know that I know how to write some dope lyrics. So we had an 8th grade talent show, and I partnered up at the time with a couple of my really close friends, a girl named Precious Mosley, and then Brittany Wyeth. The three of us rapped in the talent show, and so we ended up doing the talent show, and I rapped to the beat that that explosive. I rapped to that beat at the talent show, and the whole school went crazy. It was like, oh my God, you are so dope. So after that, it was over for me as far as getting the validation that I needed for people to be like, man, you dope, like that, like y'all brought the house down. So after that, I was really, really empowered and just continued to write music. But through high school, I was super focused. I had 2 jobs. I wanted to go to college. I knew I wanted to go to college. I didn't know necessarily what I wanted to go to college for, but I knew all the people that my mom took me around that had it going on, had nice houses, nice cars and stuff. I'd be like, well, what do you do for a living? They'd be like, well, I went to Ohio State, or I went to college. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to go to college so I can get those nice things. So I was really locked in high school on working, saving up to be able to pay for college. And so I worked at Popeye's Chicken. I worked at Buckeye Fried Chicken on Livingston and Alum Creek. I worked at the Wexner Heritage Village in the dining facility, serving the elderly people like their breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dietary.
Yeah, I was a dietary technician. So I just worked through high school, so I didn't really do a lot with my music in high school. I still would write lyrics, but nobody really knew that that's just something I was doing. And then once I went to college, I got a full ride scholarship to OU. And I was the first person in my family, on both sides of my family, to even go to college. Yes, so I went to OU. I didn't accept my scholarship for Ohio State because I felt like that college was too big and I would just be a number. And I wanted to go to a smaller university. I also wanted to get some experience away from being kind of under my mom's wing, under her control. I wanted to learn a level of independence that I didn't have on my own, because my mom coddled me and my brother so much so, like, I had never even washed my own clothes up until my senior year in high school. Like, to this day, I probably don't wash clothes right. I just wash everything together. I separate the whites out, but I wanted to learn, like, what is it to really live on your own? So I went to OU, and once I got to OU, that was when I started back, like, wanting to do music because I was on campus. They had all kinds of talent shows, groups. I was a part of an organization called Unified Sisters. There were just a bunch of different organizations and things you could get involved in college. So I started writing music again. And at this time, one of my close friends, her name was also Brittany. It was Brittany Hamlet at the time. We formed a rap group and would perform in the local talent shows. And our rap name was
B-Ham.
We were B-Ham. Oh, our rap group name was So Exclusive.
So exclusive.
But it was B-Ham and T-Baby was our rap names. And so we linked with the producer who ended up being a short-term relationship, but ended up being my boyfriend at the time. He was a producer that made beats. And so we did a song called So Exclusive and a couple songs together. But when we would like have engagements and need to go do stuff and travel, sometimes my friend Brittany wasn't available, and so I would be like, we're not both available. So it got to the point where I'm just like, if I want to be able to move how I want to move, I'm going to have to be a solo artist because I don't want to have anything that kind of stops me in my path from where I'm wanting to go or what I'm wanting to do. And so I became a solo artist. It was like my sophomore year in college, and that was when I linked with Chief Execs Entertainment, a guy by the name of Sinatra. At the time, he went by the rap name Sinatra. I think today he goes by Supernatra or Super or Soup. I don't even, I haven't been able to keep up with all the different names over the years, but his real name is Demetrius. But anyway, so I started to do music with him under his label, and I was the first lady of Chief Execs Entertainment, and that lasted for about maybe like 3 or 4 years. I dropped my first album under his label, and then I ended up parting ways because I also got pregnant during this time when I was in college, my junior year in college. And so there was just so many things all happening at once, but I ended up going my own separate path again because I just felt like sometimes when you're doing music with people or under somebody else's umbrella, there's a lot of limitations around it. So I like to just have the autonomy to be able to do music on my terms. So I started to do everything independently. I funded all of my own studio time, all of my own, paid for all my own production, and I've dropped my next album independently. It was recorded by a local